Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you're at. Hi, I'm Big John TW. And this right here, oh my, let's go. This is my stream. All right. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna run us some missions. Just some missions with some friends. We're not really planning on doing anything big or major. Um, yeah. All right. Let me hop back in the group. Hello.
Your pasta Mufasa.
A possum Mufasa.
Okay, Simba. How about is that better for you?
Well, I mean, it could be.
Well, because you can't wait to be king.
One of these days, I'm gonna grow up to be king. I'm gonna be big and bad and wow.
Yeah, Alfredo, Monday I saw the Gran Turismo as an early watcher.
oh, um, you actually saw the movie, the freaking first one?
Yeah, the racing sim. Yeah, yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty good. That was
Funny
pretty.
thing, when I saw, like, when I saw the trailer, it says based on a true story. Bitch, it's based on a video game. Not like Breaking That, a true story.
Yeah, well, it was. There was a guy that did that and stuff in the '80s and stuff. He did 300 races and stuff, but they made fun of this song and they'll go flow in the movie. It was funny. Someone picks up the guy's Walkman and starts playing it. The song of No Go Flow starts playing. Sail away, sail away. Oh god, it was funny. Then they were making fun of Kenny G.
Oh, can I? Well, from the Kenny
Is he
G
still
because Kenny
alive?
G, their
Yeah,
money's still alive because he's a god.
He's still alive. He was just not too long ago in Katy Perry's video last Friday night.
Oh,
He plays her uncle, Kenny G.
Yep.
I did not know that. You know, I'm getting about to that age where most of the singers that were singing and popular when I was younger
Not like that, and that video,
You're
and
dead.
that same video,
are dying. Yeah.
on Corey filming was his death.
yeah, we did lose a singer the other day.
Yep. Shanae O'Connor.
Yeah, but that was not natural.
You know.
It wasn't.
You do realize that she posted a video just before where she killed herself.
Yeah, she said goodbye. I can't live with missing my daughter.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I was busy
Yeah.
doing other things whenever I got the notification that she had died. I never got a chance to actually look into it.
Yeah,
I just
Yeah,
know
the
that she
video
died.
she posted just before she died was a goodbye video. She killed herself.
yeah. And and plus a another clue is like your suicide. It always happens when when someone dies and like there's like the cause of death that means it's a suicide.
Well, that could also be a drug overdose.
Which is a form of suicide.
Yeah, it's like non-intentional suicide. I mean, their goal is to get high, not get dead.
Their goal is not either of those. Their goal is to not feel what they're currently feeling. And I know that's like a stupid distinction, but it is. They could care less if it's high or unconscious or whatever, as long as they stop feeling what they're feeling. The butter is just not softening.
How you doing? What's your name? What's your number? You will hit me. Oh boy. So as some of you know, the reason why I wasn't streaming yesterday because I had to get and install a new hot water heater in my house. So yeah, there was that. And honestly, guys, I thought I was tripping. I really did. I thought I was slipping. All right. Um, the water tank was leaking, which is the reason why I needed to replace it because the tank was leaking. And once a water heater's tank leaks, I mean, you can't, springs a leak. You can't, there's really no fixing that. Okay. So I'd come to that conclusion and it had, you know, it had been off since Saturday morning when I found out that the water heater was leaking. Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's something new. It's been off for a little while. But I went to go pick it up, or I went to go take the old one out. Man, I thought I was slipping. I thought in my old age, I've rapidly gotten weak. See, I put this hot water heater in, probably 12 years ago, pretty much by myself. And I am now 100 pounds heavier, and I go to lean back and I could barely lean this hot water heater back. I'm thinking, oh my God, I've fallen off. I can't, well, because when, it had me thinking because the water was coming out the bottom. So I was, immediately just assuming.
So what are you doing, Big John?
Just stomping around. What are you doing? I'm running a mission. I tried to send you an invite, but you're on the hero side.
Yeah.
You gonna come on over?
Just give me a minute.
All right. So yeah. So I get there and I'm thinking, oh my God, I've fallen off. This is bad. And I get to leaning up against it, and next thing you know, I could feel it shift. I was like, oh, this thing's about half full. Apparently the hole had happened about halfway up. So it had about 20 gallons of water in it, so the thing weighed about 200 pounds. That's the reason why I was having such a hard time lifting it. Oh, like an idiot. So I got out my drill, I drilled a hole in the bottom of it, drained it the rest of the way out, and then I could pick it up. Me and my daughter, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still blew out my knee, but me and my daughter picked it up and got it up the stairs because mine is in my basement. Oh, I'm gonna go say hi to these people. See if they like me. I think they like me. Hi. Hey, you know what, guys? They don't like me.
Big John, they want your booty.
Well, I mean, one would think that, but no. So after I got it to drain, me and my daughter picked it up, and it was hilarious because, you know, when you have a hot water heater for like 12 years, the rust builds up in the bottom of it, and the sediment from, you know, if you have harder water, you know, all the little impurities of water comes out in the heat. So it'll build up some sediment in the bottom of the tank, so the tank will never really be dry, and it'll be heavier than what it was whenever you put it in. Well, my daughter didn't know that. So we get there with this new one and we go to pick it up, and she's rushing home to try to help me because she knows I blew out my knee trying to you know, be dad. And you know, we get it halfway out the box. She's like, "How are you gonna get it the rest of the way out of the box?" I just give it a bear hug and pick it up and move it over. Because empty, they're like, you know, 20, 25 pounds. That's no problem. She's like, "Oh my God, I thought it was gonna be so heavy." Yeah, can't really judge a full water heater. Or actually, for her, it was just an old water heater. So that's what I spent my day doing yesterday, Chad. I was acquiring the water heater and putting it in. And you know, even the acquisition of the water heater had to say, you know, has a story to it. So I told you Saturday I realized that my hot water heater was going out. You on the villain side, Micro?
Necro got a phone call and he's muted.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that.
Well, I heard a phone ringing sound and I see he's muted.
My bad. So I told you guys that Saturday I realized it. Well, I went to go price one. And if you guys haven't priced a water heater in a couple years, my Lord. Well, I mean, I guess they're about the same price. I paid it about $350 about 12 years ago. I'm paying about $450 now. But I was in the hardware store and I asked the clerk if, you know, that was all the water heaters they had, because it's a small town store. Just so happened to be another veteran was in there from heating and that works in heating and air. And he asked me if I was looking for a water heater, if I was looking for an electric water heater, which I was. And he's like, "Well, I have I thought my water heater broke about 2 winters ago. So I've got a brand new hot water heater that I bought for it and just never returned it. It's just sitting in my garage, brand new. Do you want it?" He's like, it's been taken out of the box. It's been halfway filled up once. It's never had electricity hooked up to it. But if you want it, I mean, I'll sell it to you for $200. Oh my God. $200 is a really good price for a hot water heater. Like I said, the cheapest I could find a hot water heater was $409, which would wind up being about $450 after taxes. Yeah. So that was awesome. I just kind of wish I could have lucked into a tankless, because, you know, I think that's probably the way to go. But my house was never really designed for a tankless, so. And since my house wasn't designed for a tankless, I'd probably have to move where the hot water heater is. You know, not that I couldn't do it. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. What have you guys been up to, chat? I know you guys have some interesting stories about what's going on in your neck of the woods. I can't wait for Homicide or Scary to hop on. Gotta make sure they're okay. You know, Ohio's been getting rough. Maybe Jim needs to quit
You know
wearing it.
what? Did you
What?
change the mission to get the planet now to get the dildos?
Isn't there one in the AE that's the golden butt plug or something?
Yes.
Not the golden butt plug, it's a shiny butt plug and it's a Vico's mission.
Ah, shiny butt plug.
Phone calls. But oh. Nothing. You forgot to hang up.
Yeah. Guys, that. Okay, you guys are over here. Drop in here. Hey, hi guys.
Hey, Big John.
Yo, what's up? Are you?
Yeah,
Are you?
going on to, yeah, where are you on the villain side?
We're in Grand. Are you over on the villain side?
Yeah, I just switched the line and I had a phone call.
There you go. Mission request assistant.
You actually made a police drone?
Yeah, let me go this way first.
And then made it a vigilante.
This way.
Remember. Remember to gain spawn, like tonight game sponsor is Hordash.
Evil thought of the night, make all the police drones have the ability to talk like Nelvigal. So they can switch at factions. What?
Oh, just GM side, just hop over to the villain side and start spawning in police drones.
Yeah, that's the character when I for some reason doesn't work on it. I used to be able to do it, but now it says unknown command. Go.
What's the name of the character?
Police drone.
Huh?
Police drone.
Wow, that's really low in the database.
What?
I was surprised where it was in the database.
Oh. So yeah.
Nope, that one is set at 0. Sorry. I missed one. There you go.
Yeah.
If you log out and log back in, it'll work.
So you wanted to log out and log back in, Micro?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep going with the XP and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, what you guys want to see a police drone chasing you all night?
I mean, we did team up with a police drone, so I mean that would classify you as a crooked cop.
Okay.
Well, how crooked is the sexy, the very, very good crooked, or like the what the fuck a crooked?
Not sure.
So, great news.
Yeah.
It's cooled off in my apartment.
Bad news. Does not help you soften butter.
No, it's still rock hard after an hour.
What would happen if you took it? Well,
If I took a what?
I mean, I don't know exactly what it is where you live, but it's like 93, 94 degrees where I am.
Yeah, I need it soft, not melted.
Picky. Sorry, I'm joking. Bad time to joke.
If she melts it the wrong way, it won't firm back up again.
If I melt it the wrong way, I have no way to turn it into buttercream unless I want to go with a French or a Swiss buttercream, and I don't have time to make a French or a Swiss buttercream. What?
Oh no, I was just agreeing with you.
I'm freaking out because it's a $50 order.
Damn.
It's a $50 order, and it's a $50 order for the person that got me my first outside referral. Outside of work referral.
But then again, they also put you in kind of a time restraint because of the fact that they moved it up, or when it hit the next day.
The cupcake for the 28th. And then let me know last night that no, she needs them for the 28th. She needs them tonight.
Damn, big dog, you got one big feet, one huge feet.
It's better to put my foot up their ass.
So you know what they say about men with big feet? I mean, they got big penis.
I was thinking God made the wrong thing big.
It means nothing more than they need big gloves and big shoes.
Wait till it gets a cat and his cat sniffs his feet. You'll see a video of it. And the cat going, ew.
Out of curiosity, could you soften the butter using steam? Would the moisture help?
No, because then you have run the chance of melting the butter.
Oh. Okay.
Same thing with putting a hot cup over it. Those tricks for softening butter are for softening butter if you're going to put them on bread or something. They're not for softening butter because butter has to be soft but still cold. Otherwise, you get soup. Sweet, syrupy soup. So butter can't be too hot, it can't be too cold.
Use butter flavored Crisco. They'll never know.
Yes, they will.
Yeah,
I-
I know that stuff.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Butter flavored Crisco tastes exactly like butter flavored frosting at the store. It tastes chemical and false. That's why people want mine over the stores, because mine don't taste chemical and false. My strawberry is a white cake with freeze-dried strawberries in it. There's nothing artificial about it.
Damn, Micro. What kills you?
He pissed off a whole bunch of the bad guys.
That's what left, right.
No, this really happened. He entered the room. They say, "Popo, attack!"
It was a no-knock warrant. It didn't work out so well.
It just means I'm gonna figure out a way to get more baby gates for this damn place, and because I can't have this turn my back and everything in my house gets destroyed while I try to get anything done is driving me insane. Because I'm to the point I don't feel like I can get anything done with anything. I've got my cosmetics closet, and I'm afraid to open it up and do anything in there because the dog's gonna get into shit.
Sounds like kennel time.
Yeah, but with everything that I have going, that means the dog is kenneled 23 out of 24 hours a day. And in that case, I probably don't need a dog. Because that's just cruel. I'm irritable, I'm cranky, and yes, I'm in that mindset where I can't figure out how to get past everything.
That would be true, chat, if this was every day, but this is not every day, so but she'll figure it out. Have faith in her.
It's even better. I'm so stressed over making cakes and cupcakes for other people that I don't even want to make a cake next week for my own freaking birthday.
Well, I mean, have you ever seen a mechanic's car? Reason why I say this, because most mechanics or cars need work, and it's because of the fact that it's what they do every day. That means that whenever they get home, they don't want to do it for theirs.
Yeah, I know. That's why my mother told me never marry a gynecologist.
Yeah, because you see things you don't want to see. As a bouncer for strippers, I saw some shit I don't want to ever see again.
Like how long do you work? And also Big John.
Let's see. I did it for 2 years in Louisiana and 2 years when I came back. So about 4 years.
And what kind of bouncer you did?
I was a personal bouncer for 3 of them, and then the last year I was a bouncer for a nightclub.
Yeah, if you were a bouncer on your nightclub, like I would pretend to do something bad for you, for you to teach me and carry me.
Normally, if I'm carrying you, that means you're in a half Nelson and you're about to go unconscious.
Oh man, that was. I take one for the team.
You're like, you don't know me. That's my king.
And plus, you forgot who you're talking to.
But hey, I at least have my birthday off.
um, and like another thing, can bouncer can have like a freaking concealed weapon license, or no?
You can have a concealed weapons license. Normally, you can't bounce with a concealed weapon.
Uh,
For that, you would need an armed guard license.
uh,
But yeah, that also changes state to state. I think, but I think most every state requires an armed bouncer to be an armed guard.
uh.
And after meeting some of the armed guards, that is a really scary thought. I lived on Whiteman Air Force Base. I had a friend of mine that was an SP. Got court-martialed because he discharged his firearm He unlawfully discharged of a firearm. What he was doing was quick drawing his reflection in the bulletproof glass. Kids.
God, he's thinking he didn't shoot somebody.
He almost did himself. It was bulletproof glass.
Hold on. Let me get it straight. He took out his weapon, front like a bulletproof glass, and it bounced back and hit him.
Okay, bulletproof glass. With almost all bulletproof glass, it's really thick plastic, so you can actually see your own reflection. He got bored standing on guard and started doing, practicing his quick draw. Well, he quick drew the bullet, his reflection, and ended up pulling the trigger. Yeah, that was
Oh man.
yeah, that was a thing.
He didn't shoot himself.
Yeah, I mean that was the one thing. I mean, at least he didn't injure himself. But he was in a guard shack that was probably no bigger than my streaming room,
Yeah.
with a bullet with a 9mm round ricocheting off of everything.
He just redid the scene from Star Wars, the garbage crusher scene. Blaster bolts going everywhere.
Yeah, every time I hear that the chair force is the most intelligent, that's what I think of. Why? Because some things you just can't make up. Congratulations.
Yep, thank you.
Congratulations, you still suck.
I mean, that was so nice and cruel. I mean, that was.
Hey, you're the same. The two first.
Hey, you know what they say, Florida man.
Hey, it's cocaine. I'll get it to you.
So, Fredo, are they able to fix your PC, or are you going to be getting a new one?
Right now, like I said, right now I'm playing an old FIFA, my old gaming laptop, right? And I'm like in area 2, so this is freaking killing me. But right now I'm looking in prices to buy equipment, a new gaming laptop.
What happened to your last one?
Um, oh, my desktop has a nice special error every time it boot up.
His desktop is 20 years old.
Oh,
The family gave out on it.
I figured before you started making any suggestions, I'd just throw that out there too.
so it died of natural causes, is what you're saying.
Pretty much it has a PC fan error.
Well, I mean, for about 2K, you can get a really, really, really good one. PC. How much you looking at spending?
Um, like under 1,200.
Under what?
That's like 1,200. That's my budget right now.
Oh, okay, about $1,200. All right. Yeah, you can get a really decent one for around $1,000.
Hmm.
If I were you though, just as kind of an FYI, would probably steer away from a laptop, steer towards a desktop, as you can replace things on them easier. That in a laptop, the graphics to a laptop isn't equivalent to the graphics to the same name of a graphics card from the same company on a desktop. Because I got a 3070 in both my laptop and my gaming PC, and my gaming PC is a lot beefier.
And also try to stay away from Dells because they're use their own motherboards and power supplies. So if it dies, you got to buy their power supply. It's usually under powered too. Can't really upgrade that much.
Yeah, they're very restrictive. They have specialized pinouts for the power supply, so you can only use Dell power supplies. And the last time I owned a Dell, I thought the power supply was kind of underrated. But I looked I didn't know that, and I went out and bought saw a great deal for a 800 watt power supply, which is still in the box on my cabinet because lo and behold, yeah, couldn't plug it in. That's how I figured out that Dell had custom connectors put on the motherboard and everything, motherboard and power supply and all that.
So I chunked it down and I'm forcing the mixer to just beat it to death.
Just beat it. But you wanna be square, just beat it. Beat it. 'Cause you can cook, we'll eat it.
I'm really stressed.
Spanking your monkey, acting like it's right. Sorry.
The other thing everybody knows when you're looking at the PCs and stuff is when they say the i5, the i7, the i9 and stuff. The standard i5 right now, 4-core or 6-core i5, from Intel or AMD, is a pretty killer processor. You don't have to go crazy on buying a $700 processor.
Mm-hmm.
You want to spend most of your money on the video card and the power supply.
Now, what I will tell you though, because my desktop has an i5, my laptop has an i7, and with an i5, you can't use the Intel Arc, which would be a secondary graphics, whereas my laptop, the i7, has it.
Some of the Intel processors don't have built-in video chipset. The F SKU.
Yeah.
They're all the way up to a 9.9. They go with a dash F at the end. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have the onboard video. If your regular video card dies, then at least you can troubleshoot it. Get it to post at least with a built-in video card.
And of course, your video card is almost always going to be the most expensive part of your entire laptop or desktop.
Yeah, what I would do right now, Alfredo, is get your fan replaced. That's only a $19 part. It takes a shop maybe 5-6 minutes to fix it. Or any competent guy that that can actually work on a PC. They just they comes with the fan, comes with new paste, and that's it. You just repaste the CPU fan, and that's it, and then you're on your way again. Because you got new Intel and AMD processors coming out in the next couple of months, and you got new video cards that are going to be coming out the first next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking I'm doing. That's only replacing that for now, because it'll be cheaper.
Yeah. Well, that's with the desktop. That's almost always the way it'll be. It'll be cheaper to replace. But what he also has to consider, Micro, is if what he lost was his CPU fan, did he overheat? Did he overheat his CPU?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've seen that a lot when I worked at Micro Center with the older processors. The fan used to fail, and that was it. They used to cook the processor. And then for the 20-year-old PC too, you got your money out of it.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, you are right. If you can fix it with a $20 CPU fan, then go ahead and do that, and then slowly look to see about replacing it, because, well, I mean, it is 20 years old. I mean, I'm 45 and I look at replacing myself every day.
Yeah, Alfredo,
Just can't find something better.
You also know that the federal government is giving you $200 for a PC, towards a PC.
Hey, that's similar to me, Big John. I'm 49. I'll be 50 soon, and guys look at me and go, "Yeah, replace it."
Well,
Making a joke.
Big John, your only replacement is like, how more fat can you get?
I don't believe in replacements. I just keep getting bigger.
And forget that's what she said.
I'm big enough to redefine what tonsil hockey means.
But if you do when you do get a new PC, Alfredo, try to get one with as much memory as you can on board.
Okay.
Because with these new games and stuff, the more memory you have, the better it'll run. The minimum requirements now for a PC is 16 gigs. Anything less than that is just going to throw on you.
Well, if you get a new motherboard, because that's the amount of RAM that you get is defined by your motherboard and what it'll take, what it'll hold.
Yeah, but I'm saying is what happens is the operating system is going to take X amount of RAM. If he's got 8 gigs, then some of the operating system is going to take some of that 8 gigs, and then all his game is only going to have what's left over. Most gaming PCs now have 16 to 32 gigs of memory. It's the minimum.
Most gaming rigs, the hard drive or the motherboards hold 64 gigs.
Yeah.
They'll have 4 slots that will be able to hold 32, not 32, but 16 gig chips.
Cool.
I just ended up having to buy some more RAM for mine to move it up to 40 something. Probably I did that, what, 3 months ago-ish? 2 months ago-ish? Something like that. I've already forgot the keyboard command to get your, because there's a keyboard command that you can get Windows to tell, for your motherboard to tell you how much it can hold and how much it has.
Yeah. Most new motherboards now are 256 to 512. They've gotten real high on the standard RAM.
Well, yeah, because the writers know that they don't have to write anything tight anymore.
Yeah.
That, you know, RAM is rather cheap, so
Yeah.
that's just like your SSDs. Your SSDs, if you, unless you're really getting like a what is it, 4 terabyte SSD, most of those aren't that expensive either.
They've come down to like 10 cents megabytes now. They're pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Hard drive, technical hard drive, in the next 3 to 4 years, you're not going to be able to get one.
Well, I mean, there's no sense in it. If the only reason why most people do it now is because most motherboards will only hold 1 SSD, but the SSDs, I got a friend of mine at work that has a 16 terabyte SSD in his, in his gaming piece. 16 terabytes, 16,000 gigs. What in the living crap? What is he putting in this thing? Is he stealing every drawing we've got?
No, I don't know why he needs 16 gig. It's all the
Pornhub.
porn.
Yeah.
It's all the porn. That's why.
He just downloaded Pornhub. All of it.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna rob a bank, guys. So Alfios, you're logging slow, right?
Um. Yes and no. Like sometimes it's like I get on lag, and like another second I get a huge lag that like I almost go like I almost get the blue screen of death.
Hmm. So Per, how's that icing coming?
Hey, Big J, I got a question. Does this police drone make a sound on your end?
Do what?
Does the police drone make a sound on your end?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, because in my end, when I get the sci-fi thing, and I don't hear anything.
Well, I mean, that would get rather annoying. Oh, Micro, you should have just hopped in the mission map. Have you logged in yet, or have you made it in the actual mission?
No, but I didn't want to start the bank, running to the bank until we all got together.
Well, I think Annabelle.
Yes, I'm in the mid one.
Okay.
Do you need me out?
No, I was just making sure you logged in. You made it in.
And
Are
that's what she said.
are you in yet?
All 2 inches in.
Look, don't ask for the other inch. The other inch is a gift from God. Oh.
What did I just miss?
Nothing.
The gift of God.
I reminded Alfredo he didn't need to ask for the other inch because the other inch is a gift from God.
The other inch for what?
Oh, I asked him if he was in the mission yet, but I didn't say like the whole thing. I was just like, "Are you in yet?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's what she said." So I was like, "Is it like both inches?" He's like, "Both inches." I was like, "You don't ask for the other inch. The other inch is a gift from God."
Yeah, I'm right.
So how's the icing coming along? Is it mixing okay or?
Yeah.
Good. See, I knew you'd think your way through it. You got this, girl. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? I need pom-poms.
Gone.
What?
You can use your belly as pom pom.
Eh. Sir, they call me a polar bear.
No, my bad. I'm sorry. You're so fat. You use your tits as pom pom.
Son, they call me tater salad. Clap my hands. I stomp my feet. And everybody watches me eat my meat. Two, 4, 6, 8. Who's gonna retaliate? Why are these people facing the wrong damn direction like they didn't know where we were coming from? There is one way to the vault. One way. Why are they facing the vault? Ah, crap. Somebody already robbed this bank. I'm waiting for a hero. Oh. Your hero has arrived. I'm pretty sure that lady just stuck the butt of the barrel of her rifle right up my bum. She did not have my permission. That was not okay. Oh, hey, there's the hero right there. Look at her in her nice little pajamas. Come here, lady in purple. Hoo-hoo. Man, come on, Alfios, you gotta say it. What do you say when this situation occurs?
Oh boy, double trouble time.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
Howdy.
I said nothing.
You say nothing. Mm-hmm.
I just
I
wanted to
don't
make
believe it.
I just wanted to make sure you guys were okay. Ohio's been like on a bender recently.
You know.
Which kind of bender? You gotta narrow it down.
Well, I mean, you had the police officer that no longer is a canine unit, giggity, and
Yeah, I saw that one.
then you had the 17 kids.
Missed that one.
Oh, that one was today. 17 kids beat the shit out of somebody at a gas station.
Oh,
Really, what the fuck? For
And
what reason?
Well, you know, it was on a right-wing site, so they really didn't say, because they only started, you know, as the first kids came up to start beating on the guy, and they were talking about how the kids should be tried as adults and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, one reason, there's a reason why, you know, kids are tried as kids, because they're not adults. And someone tried to use the excuse of, well, they're young adults. And I'm like, well, you had to preface it adult with another word, didn't you?
Here's the thing about that. I wouldn't be surprised is like perfect. And that's like a TikTok challenge or like something like that.
Well, but what my thing is kids make mistakes. That's the reason why they're kids. My question is, one of which was 3 of the kids had pistols and 1 of the kids had a rifle. How did they get these
What?
guns?
Yeah.
First of all, a pistol can't be purchased by a minor. So really and truthfully, tell me how 3 of them wound up with pistols.
Technically, in the black market, if you had the money, you could buy it.
Man, this is Ohio. They ain't got a black market. They ain't got black anything. This is Ohio.
I can assure you that any that I have are fully locked up.
Well, yes, but see, you're responsible. And this is the problem that I had. Everyone that I was reading wanted to blame the kids. And I'm like, you're blaming kids. Where are their fucking parents?
Exactly.
Oh, well, you must not have kids. And I'm like, I have 3 of them. Oh, well, you must not have guns. I have 3 of them too. I got 3 kids. I got 2 girls. Of course I got guns.
My mom passed away 10 years ago.
You know
and
why?
I still feel her or fear her.
Because you
She'll
know
come
why?
down and kick my ass.
Yeah.
You know why? Because once become a dad, you have a daughter, the first thing you do, you buy a shotgun.
I told
Yeah,
I,
the
I told my
number
youngest,
one job of a dad is keep his daughter off the pole.
yes, I told my youngest one, I set out 2 hollow points because I've got a 1911 45. Said, okay, your first boyfriend comes over and he wants to take you on a date. I'm gonna set 2 hollow points on the table. When he sits down and starts talking shit, I'm gonna pick up one of the hollow points and toss it to him and tell him watch his mouth because the second one comes about a shit ton faster.
Pretty good.
Just saying, this is my this is my baby. This is my last kid, so of course, I'm a dick. But then again, I'm a dick.
You need help with your mission.
I think we're gonna have to go to Paragon Island because I just did a bank mission and I turned it in and didn't get a contact, which is, I thought that was wrong. I didn't know they did that.
I used to tell my daughter's dates that I have no problem going back to jail.
Scary
I've
somehow.
never been to jail. I would just like to preface this, but I absolutely let the kids think that, because for a time I moved from Maine to Florida and I was gone for a while and then came back.
And you know they make up stories is why you left.
Yep. So afterwards I used to tell them, I got no problem going back to prison.
I like it.
Yeah, I always tell them that, I'm not scared of going to prison to begin with because I'm a country boy. I know places to hide the body, like hog farms.
That's right.
I have a great uncle that was eaten by his hogs because he used to abuse his animals. And the bull gored him and tossed him, and he wound up in the pig pen.
My mom always used to tell me the most dangerous animal on this planet is a boar hog. And the only thing that makes people not understand how dangerous they are is because they can't turn their head up. If they could turn their head up, they would just eat everybody. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about with hogs. That and one of my neighbors has a hog farm.
It's got access to a 10-ton backhoe. So. And there's enough clay that I can definitely put something down deep enough.
And 27 acres deep by 3 acres wide. It's got a pond and 2 creeks on it. I could put you so far deep, Satan has to look up.
Yeah, only got 10 with a pond, but 27 would be nice.
Yeah. I could put you so far deep. You need a passport to get back. And have all the time in the world to do it because it's all woods. Which, by the way, makes for some excellent hunting. FYI.
My dad's got about 10 deer that roam his woods normally.
I can remember.
Why the fuck the warble do freaking leg fist?
Okay, who peed in the pool?
Look at the tune name.
Ivana Tinkle.
I found a tinkle. I want a tinkle.
Yeah, I can remember the first time I ever went deer hunting. In Illinois, you're only allowed to use deer slugs. And hunting seasons, it's like It's one short weekend, one long weekend. So it's a 3-day weekend and a 4-day weekend. I woke up on a Tuesday or Thursday at 5:15 in the morning, stepped out on the back porch, loaded up my gun, shot it from the porch, had it strung up in the tree, and still made it to school to catch the bus at 6:30. I was so disappointed. I just didn't go hunting. After that, I just stopped. It wasn't a challenge.
Yeah, I went to school with enough people, they'd actually, on the way to school, shoot the deer out the window and pick it up.
Yeah, but see, you're not exactly supposed to admit to that.
No, I didn't say I did it, but I went to enough schools, enough people who did it. We were in a wee bit redneck area.
Oh, wee bit. Okay.
I know someone that shot an arrow through the sliding window to get a deer. And they thought the door was open.
I'm trying to figure out how I could tell this story. Back before I went to the Marines, I had some roommates and knew some people, and we didn't have the best of jobs, and we were young and hungry. So one night we went riding around with a 22 long, and decided that we were going to get some venison. And I can tell you that a 22 can drop a deer if you put the bullet in the eye. And guess what reflects well at night? Put out the shiny dots.
No, I thought those are perfect for night.
What?
Like those are perfect for like at the night.
For
and-
perspective, on my high school, we had a 162-acre land lab with our own combine and covered bridge.
Southern Illinois University was the #1 school in the state or in the country for agriculture. I mean, don't get me wrong, we were known as a party college, but we had the number one school for agriculture in the nation, because we do have, the university owns farmland and owns farms, and we have our own we had our own cattle farm, we had our own it owns its own tractors and combines, and it's actually rather neat. So our Aggies actually get to be farmers.
Well, yeah, Southern Illinois is a very fertile area there.
I know. Now you see why I got 3 kids. Wait a minute. What are you talking? Wait, what?
He's like, wait, what?
We're talking about the land. I must still agree. I just have to change. Although in my fertile fields of fuck, notice how it is still barren and dry. For I have not a fuck to give.
Well, the thing about down here, up there you boys got a shotguns. Down here we got the most weapon of all of them. A freaking Atlanta.
Oh, what?
That is a sandal that I forget.
Oh, a chakla. Gotcha.
Yeah, chocolate. Because you know what? If you get that with an old lady, you run 10 miles away from them, and they burn so high, so far away, and so hit you like a break.
See, Alfredo's got one of them, the Hispanic moms, so you can even run, like you could be a block away, she'll throw her sandal or a chakla at you, and you can go hide in the next room. It will wait at the door waiting for you to open it. And then to go back to her. I don't know how they do that. It's got to be in the wrist or something.
Fire and forget.
Yeah, her sandals are all fire and forget. See, this is what happens whenever you give them technology. It's the most high-tech, low-tech thing on the planet. This is why when you get on a plane, they made you take off your shoes. I'm just saying. Somebody had a Hispanic mother. No, sir, that is a weapon. You check those sandals. One person tried to make a bomb out of some sneakers. Everybody's got to take the shoes off getting on a plane for the next 20 years.
And he couldn't even do it right.
I know, and we caught him. So, I mean, why, what's the deal? We caught him. It's all good. It's not like he got away. It wasn't like in further news, the plane blew up because the guy had on sneakers. No. And what the fuck? Do the TSA think that everybody walks around with the anarchist cookbook turned open to how to turn a Coke can into a fucking bomb? Because that $8 Coke on the other side of the fucking gate, safety gate, is some bullshit. I know $8 Coke blows up just like the rest of them if the first one blows. Which is why I'm a frequent flyer.
Like I said, that's why when you come here to Florida, the moment you step into Florida, you get your complimented cocaine.
It's not complimented, it just floated up. Oh, there's nothing like seeing the cocaine come in the morning.
Did you get your hot water heater replaced?
Yes, I did.
It sprung a leak.
Yeah, it sprung up. My hot water heater sprung a leak on, I think it was Saturday. And truthfully, I mean, I told the story earlier to chat, but I was looking for a hot water heater and I went to the local hardware store. And I just so happened to luck out that there was another veteran in there, and we got to talking. And he heard me ask the cashier if they had any more hot water heaters. And he was like, oh, if you're looking, are you needing an electric or gas? And I told him electric. And he's like, could you use a 40-gallon hot water heater? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I've got now that just went out. He's like, oh, well then I got an extra one. I'll sell you for $200.
Oh.
Yeah, the cheapest one I was able to find new anywhere was $409 before taxes. And this one had only been filled up halfway once and never been, the electricity had never been attached. He bought it, thought he thought his hot water heater busted in the winter, like it froze. And come to find out, the pipe was behind it. So when he took his hot water heater off and was filling it up with the new one, the water was still rushing, letting him know that he broke a line. So he just he took the new hot water heater, put it back in the box, and just put it in his garage. Now he just wanted to get it out of his garage. So yeah, I bought it.
Yeah, what was it? The A.O. Smith water heaters you were looking at? Big John, they were like $400.
Yeah, Renault. It was the same water heater that was like 400 and I think it was the cheaper $409 one, but I mean, I got it for $200, so I can't complain. It might have been 2 years old in somebody's garage, but keep in mind, most of the hot water heaters in the store are 2 years old, just sitting in the store.
Mm-hmm.
Hot water heaters don't move that fast. And I mean, when I wired it up, everything came on and worked. And I mean, put it this way, to get the electrical wires out, I still had to break the safety tape. That's how I know that it was never hooked up.
Oh, yeah.
It was in the plastic in the box. I was like, oh my God, I'll never get, I won't get this lucky again. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I mean, if I had the money, what I probably should have done was not screw around with another tank hot water heater and just bought a tankless hot water heater and replumb some of my hot water heater lines. But, you know, not about that life yet. Tankless hot water heaters are still a little bit too expensive. I mean, when you really think about it, this one, the last one I had lasted for 12 years. The only thing I replaced on it was the lower element and the upper thermostat. So that was a $40 tune-up kit for a hot water heater to last for 12 years at, well, I think I bought that one at $350. I didn't even pay $450 like I was going to. So for $400 after taxes, it lasted for 12 years.
They don't make them like they used to anymore.
I don't know. This is made almost exactly like it. I mean, they really hadn't changed water heaters, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's the newer, our electric company, they used to sell hot water heaters, and they stopped doing it because they weren't lasting before people could pay them off. They were failing, so many of them.
What would fail on them?
It would just burst.
Like, 'cause they use cheap steel
Chinese steel.
or Turkish. My dad had he had really bad steel on his hitch attachment on his 2009 truck. I mean, it was made in Turkey. The hitch was, and it just delaminated in quarter or 1/8 inch thick sheets. It was so bad.
Oh, I should probably preface it this by that actually wasn't a racial slur when I said Chinese steel. As an injection mold engineer, most of our molds that were built around the early 2000s were made from China because China had a really good price on steel until they found out that China doesn't refine their steel. So as it was mold grade steel, it also had too much pot metal in it. So they would break very strangely after about 5 years. So
Or potentially ball bearings too.
well, it's the same steel.
Yeah.
It's
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Big John. I read the lie detector, and the lie detector said that's a lie.
no, that's believe
No,
me.
that's true. That's true.
It's a lot of companies used it because China had really cheap steel, and then they found out why. It's because it was all pot
Hey
steel.
man, I don't make the rules. If the lie detector said it's a lie, it's a lie. I don't make the rules.
I had a mold from a sister plant that wound up buying them from China. But when I first started at Ison, one of my molds broke inside of the press. And when I say broke inside of the press, normally when you say a mold breaks inside, a stamping mold breaks inside of a press, you're talking about an insert. I'm talking about the base. Like, it literally broke in the press, and they were trying to figure out how they were going to take it out because the tool cracked in half, the upper cracked in half, and it was sitting at an angle inside the press.
Yeah, that takes talent.
Well, that's pot steel. That's that pot steel heating up from stamping.
Yeah, we get our cart frames come from China. The steel, it's been better lately, but it can be hit and miss if you're trying to weld it for something, because just the amount of different chemical or different compounds in it, it'll arc and spark pretty bad.
Yeah, well, that and pot steel, you can't. Pot steel has so many impurities that it's next to impossible to weld unless you're doing something like TIG or heliarc weld it. And most people aren't heliarc and welding shit because that's expensive.
Even TIG, it's not easy because it just pops and spits so bad.
Oh yeah.
Cupcakes are done.
Then they're done.
Hey!
There's a lot of swearing involved.
Yeah, I've tried. I'm not the best welder, so I can claim that half of it's probably me. But yeah, I tried to some farm equipment that came from China using Chinese steel. Now I will tell you, Japan steel's pretty good. They just they think highly of it.
Because
Is
you know
this?
why?
It's
Because Japan is like advanced, like freaking 100 years advanced. That's why. So advanced, like they're so ahead of us.
Most European steels are pretty solid. German would be probably near the top. Our steel,
Yeah.
of course, is also very great. Brazil makes good stainless, but they're not too terrible. Japanese steel is very good as well.
The Japanese steel is
You gotta
extremely.
watch, like, on when you're buying like a pocket knife or something. Just when you start seeing like different grades that aren't right, you can tell.
Yeah.
This or that, that's what grade that's from.
Those knives you can't, no matter what you do, you can't seem to ever put an edge on. That's because of the steel.
They rust like crazy.
Yep. So did I hear that the cupcakes are done?
Yes.
As a fat guy, I felt a disturbance in the force. I got hungry.
Yep. My super strawberry. It's a basic white cake with freeze-dried strawberries in the cake. And then the buttercream is, of course, butter, cream cheese, and the freeze-dried strawberries.
As a fat man, I approve this message.
Yeah, everybody loves that super strawberry because they say it's like they say it's like biting into fresh strawberries and cream.
It's like if heaven came in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
The
Doll's in
lotion
here.
on the skin.
She says a lot of medical instruments are German steel.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's because the grade of steel is amazing. And she said cupcakes question mark. Oh my god, I think I gained 5 pounds just listening to you describe those.
Well, if you look in my Discord in general chat, there's a picture of them so that you can gain another 5.
You know, I used to say every time I left Louisiana, and when I was coming back, I always traveled through Hope, Arkansas. Well, if you take that way back into Louisiana, you cross this little go through this S curve, and there's a railroad track right in between, and that's the border for Louisiana. Is right on top of the railroad tracks. And I'd look at my then wife and say, oh, just gained 5 pounds because the food in Louisiana is
And that pretty little picture, that is $25 worth of cupcakes sitting right there.
Very nice.
And for my TSA agent, when she says cupcakes, she means cupcakes. That's not code for anything. That's cupcakes.
There it is. Wait.
Alfredo, I'm black. You're gonna get me arrested.
I'm getting a lot, more
What's your
orders.
point?
I mean, that's my second cupcake order this week.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah. And the person that's the outside order is actually booking for September. So, I mean, I'm starting to get people book cakes a little bit out because they know that takes a little bit of time.
Yeah. I mean, do you have a deep freeze?
Yes.
Like an actual small chest deep freeze, or like, oh, okay. Now, can you make the cake like 2 days early and then just put it in the freezer?
Yes.
Would it still take, how far in advance can you make the cake?
If I don't decorate them, if I don't put any frosting or anything like that on it, and I just, bake the cupcakes, wrap them, and put them in the freezer about a month to 2 months in advance.
Holy shit. How big is your freezer?
Not that big.
Oh. I was about to say, I mean, that means you could just like start on your next set of cupcakes and just make some random ass whatever's going to have a kind of, well, no, you can't because your cupcakes are all.
That would be one of those large ones that would be, you know, like what you think of for a big family out in the middle of nowhere that hunts, that you can hide a body in lengthwise.
Oh, my parents used to have a 17-foot up chest freezer. So yeah, we could put an entire cow.
Several dead hookers.
Well, I mean, I think that's what my mom did with it, but my dad had it because we had cows. So we would take once a year and take one of the cows and get them slaughtered, and that would be slaughtered for us, so we wouldn't have to buy beef. And normally what we would do is we would take the Hellmans down the road, and they were the ones that I told you that owned a hog farm, and we would trade. So they would get like a quarter of a cow, and they would give us like half of a hog.
Hey, I had that conversion about right. In my head, I was going 2 pigs, 1 cow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, truthfully, if you killed one cow, a family of 4 could live off of a cow for almost a year.
Yep.
There is a shit ton of meat in one cow.
My dad's company picnics, they do a whole pig or half a cow.
Yeah.
So that was the cookout.
Oh, and it's so cheap when you do like a half a cow. Well, I mean, like if you didn't have to buy the half cow, if you just would, I guess this is going to sound kind of bad, but if you go to a cattle sale and you just buy a cow for the purpose of having it turned into food, most of the time, like around where I live, at the sale barn, most of the butchers will attend the sale. And when you buy the cow, you never take it home. You never have to pick it up. They'll literally take it. The butcher will take it from the cattle barn and butcher it up, and you pick it up from the butcher in like a week.
I go to auctions. Those are pretty fun. You buy the lottery ticket.
But I see. I guess that is one of the perks of living out in the country, is that, you know, we do have, I think it's 4 sale barns for cattle and for farm animals around here, and you can pick up a Brahma, say a 1-ton adult Brahma, for around $700, and if you slaughter it, you'll have almost $1,500 worth of meat. I mean, it's the amount is stupid, which is why, of course, they had a 17-foot chest freezer. And because of deals, I never really understood, like as a kid, that steaks were expensive. I just knew I didn't like them as a kid. I mean, I love them as an adult. I just didn't like them as a kid. And bacon, I didn't know bacon was expensive. So, like when I tell you guys I had pancakes every morning for 17 years, my mom made pancakes and sausage and bacon. And if it was a special, she would make ham with it too. But that was every morning. But when you get your meat from like from butchering a pig down the block, you never really get to grasp how much that is in cost. Like how much bacon is.
Right.
I just knew that, you know, according to my parents, because we had cattle, we didn't value as much the steaks, because we could always send a cow out to get slaughtered, whereas they raised and sold hogs. Well, they didn't really, their concern wasn't really the pork products, because they could have it at any point in time. You know, just strange things about growing up on a farm, things that I didn't know, things I didn't notice. Poetic irony, growing up in a mixed family, I didn't realize that my mom and dad weren't different colors until I was like in the 6th grade. It never really struck me that my dad was black and my mom was white. And my dad was a dark black person and my mom had blonde hair, blue eyes, and burnt at night. But because I mean, think about it. I never thought about it because to me it was always just mom.
Right.
Let's see. I used to joke with folks that I have a confused taste looking for foods test. Quite a few offered to give me some, but of course they weren't allowed to take gifts from pastors. Yeah, the Bird's freezer is a 21.7 square foot. Yeah, more if you're German because they eat literally everything. No, it's half German. So yeah, I mean it. And that was that's part of the cool part about growing up on a farm too, is that, I never really thought about certain things. Like it didn't strike me as odd or something that I needed to realize that, my mom wasn't the same color as my dad, because my mom was my mom, my dad was my dad. It didn't matter. I remember being in the 7th grade and my mom was our substitute. And one of my friends asking me what my mom's first name is. I told him Mom, because I didn't know. But, as a kid, you didn't call your mom by her first name. So that was never an importance of mine to actually learn.
See, I was around my grandparents and my aunts and my uncles constantly when I was growing up, and I was the oldest grandchild, so it kind of made it so that I grew up hearing my mother's name.
Oh, I heard it. My dad said it all the time. I just didn't realize it. I didn't realize until my dad told me. I didn't realize what it didn't click as to what he was saying, because he would call my mom Jan. My mom's name is Janet, and he would always call her Jan. Well, I didn't realize that was. I thought that was her nickname. I didn't realize that was her actual name.
Gotcha.
Because I never really heard anybody call my mom by her first name. I can remember being lost as a kid in Snooks in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and them asking me what my mom's name was, and that was my exact answer, Mom. And the guy looked at me really funny and then laughed and was like, okay, I understand. Let's go walk around and look for your mom. But you also have to kind of keep in mind, like for my mom, when she passed last year was 74, and I'm 45. So my mom was about 30 when I was born. My dad was almost 45 when I was born. So my parents were very old school because they were, older. I'm still to the effect of I won't go into a woman's purse. If you ask me to get something in your purse and it's not hanging out of your purse, I will bring you the entire purse.
That is so funny. I was raised by my grandparents, and my exes could never understand why I would bring them their wallet if they didn't have it on them, rather than just get the card or money out of it.
Because a woman doesn't go in a man's wallet, a man doesn't go in a woman's purse.
Right.
I mean, that's just all there is to it. When I went into the
mellow.
When I went into the military, they had to look at my birth certificate to figure out my mom's age, because they asked me and I had no fucking clue. And they say, "What, you haven't asked her?" And I was like, my mom's answer was, you never ask a woman her age. And that seemed like a very good answer to me because she seemed really mad when she said it. I mean, but that's just the way it was. You don't, you don't go through a woman's purse. You never ask a woman her age. I mean, now granted, when I got older and the kids were closer to my age, you ID the bitches. There'll be some conniving little freaking hoochies.
My mom was 39 according to her until she was 60 something.
Well, I was gonna say, John, there's the difference, okay? You never ask a lady her age, but you're gonna definitely check out them hoochies.
Exactly. I'm a card every one of them hoochies. And
the lady's not gonna be doing anything anyways.
yeah, but I'm
At least not in the parlor.
fuck the parlor. I was wanting it in the parking lot.
Well, then you're gonna have to ask them hoochies their age.
I know. Yeah, that's
I seriously did not think that buttercream was gonna. It was like, gee, I was ready to strangle him.
I'm only 45, but both my parents were born during the war, so yeah. I get what you're saying about the old parents.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, both my dad was born at the start of the Great Depression. So they both had my mom was born at the height of the Great Depression. Well, no, just after the Great Depression. So she was the one that you could tell the Great Depression stuck more for or with. She was very hoarding. So
Did she reuse her Ziplocs and stuff?
she reused everything.
It's pretty common for that time period. My grandma did that as well.
I was gonna say my grandmother used to reuse her Ziploc bags. They'd get washed out in the washroom and hung up on a line to dry out.
My mom would rinse plastic silverware.
My grandmother had a spot for aluminum foil to wipe it down. If it wasn't too crumpled, it got wiped down and reused.
Oh no, I got one for you. There's always that coffee cup on the kitchen sink. And that coffee cup's purpose is to hold the grease.
Yep.
Yeah, my grandma could cook anything and it would be floating in bacon grease.
Yes.
Yeah. After the first time when we were at my dad's current place he lives at, my grandma found that he had so much good pulp growing that she was going to make him a pulp salad. Every time she visited after that, the week before, I'd have to go out with the machete and cut all the damn pulp out of the woods. Because he didn't want it. Grandma Rue was going to make some pulp salad.
That's like really healthy, right?
Not with the amount of bacon grease she was going to dump on it.
No, well, no, I meant poke is actually a medicine.
Oh,
like,
I'm sure,
you can sell poke.
She did wilted poke.
Yeah, one of my friends' dads, his nickname was Woodsman. He would, go out and do all of the herbs that you find, ginseng and poke and I mean just all of them, and he sold them because they have the medical effects.
Oh, I'll have to let my dad know. We get poke at school, which is diameter.
Yep.
Have me cut it down with a machete.
Oh yeah. Yep. I can remember going ginseng hunting. I can remember looking for truffles.
Morels?
Do what?
Morel mushrooms?
Yes. I can remember going out mushroom hunting during the day with Woodsman and going hunting at night with my best friend Clay in the pasture. Different mushroom. A bunch of
Shot a
deals.
bunch once, but the deer, man, the hardest problem is the deer. They work 24/7. They clean that out
Oh, wow.
quick.
Yep. We had 10 for grease. Yeah. You just have to know how to
Micro sent
prepare
me a
it.
tutorial or a video today that for bath bombs that makes them seriously harden up so hard you can hit them with a frickin' hammer,
Wow.
and they slow release in the water, so they take longer to melt.
Yeah, but is that actually, well, I mean, you'd have to raise your prices, but that's cool.
Well, I haven't set prices yet for them.
You can always have two lines, the quick dispersal and the slow dispersal.
Well,
Here in Southern Illinois, if you say you've got 2 lines, the only thing you have is a razor blade and a mirror.
you want the slow release because otherwise it fizzes and then you have nothing while in the bath.
Exactly. Which means you need to pop another bath bomb. Telling you. It's like building a car with trashy metal.
When you have to do that, then people don't want to buy multiples.
Don't most of the ones from the store just kind of fizzle out in no time? Now keep in mind, I don't use bath bombs. I don't take.
The ones from the store are hard as rock.
Okay. See, I was about to say something. I was about to get myself in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this old fellow lived across the road from us, had a secret place to get morals, and he'd bring us a grocery bag full of morals. Back when the brown paper bags were, yes, we just inoculated 3 stumps with turkey tail and lion's mane fungi. Oh, cool. Yeah, Doll was saying that she remembers having the tin for grease. You didn't waste anything. You didn't waste any of it.
I still collect bacon grease, but a lot of that also is the fact I do maple bacon cupcakes. So when I do that, I need extra bacon grease outside of what I.
Okay, here's one for you for all those who had parents that were raised up around the Great Depression. How many of you have seen a rubber band ball?
Yeah.
I had a jar of them in my dad's drawer.
Yeah, that was my mom. My mom had pans full of rubber band balls. She saved paper clips. When I tell you that after the Great Depression, I mean, and I think that's one thing that's kind of lost in and I hate to use the word, glory of the Great Depression or the glorification. You forget how hard it actually was, or it loses some of the appeal of how hard it actually was and the strange ways it affected people.
I come from a long family of cheapskates.
Well, I come to find out my parents weren't cheap. It was my mom was, how my mom was raised on a farm. They didn't really have that much money, but it was also right after the Great Depression. So she learned how to conserve everything because you just couldn't get it.
Oh yeah, my family did too. It's just my grandpa was still incredibly cheap on top of that.
Oh yeah. Like
his literal last words as he lay dying in the hospital was, "This is costing me a fortune," as they put the ventilator on him.
Yeah. yes, doll. So yeah, I mean, and my mom would hoard things, and like strange, like she had a paper clip. She had mason jars full of paper clips. Anything you could think of that you could save, she would save. And some of the things, like I said, she used to wash plastic silverware.
It's a canning.
What?
Lots of home canning too.
Oh yeah. Well, why do you think we had the jars to put the paper clips in? Because she had a garden. That's who taught me how to do things like raise tomatoes. I still wash it. Doll says I still wash and save plastic silverware. See, Like I said, and all that stems from the Great Depression. It really does. The effects of the people, the lasting effects of what happened are still being felt from something that happened in 1932.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder, what lasting effects did our pandemic have for us? And I'm not talking long haul COVID. I'm talking about general norms that we're going to switch away from, or we have switched away from.
Hoarding
I'm
of
not
toilet paper.
Mom, why are you hoarding toilet paper? Because people are fucking You know, I always, when I heard what they were doing, I could see a prepper somewhere that was losing his shit. Because what did they hoard when this happened? Milk, eggs, and toilet paper. Shit that goes bad, and things to clean shit.
Hey, everything revolves around shit.
I mean,
No,
Dragons came back.
no, no. The best thing ever. During the early years of the pandemic, like I remember seeing a picture of like I was seeing a video here in a casino because my friend used to be a dealer, right? Like it said they're betting chips, they were betting on toilet papers.
yeah. I mean, see, there's I've hoarded toilet paper for years. Well, I mean, it is always wise to pay buying things in bulk. You only really save by buying in bulk if you were going to buy it anyway. So there's few things that buying in extreme bulk actually saves you money in. Toilet paper, paper towels. You could do it with, things no matter what, unless you're dead, you're gonna need. That doesn't ever go bad. Those are things you should really buy in extreme bulk. But if you're gonna do like a prepper thing, the things that they were prepping were things that were perishable, which was, you don't prep eggs. Who the fuck preps eggs?
You gotta get the powdered eggs.
No, I'm talking about like from the store,
Yeah.
like eggs, like out of the chicken's butt eggs.
You put them in a big old jar with water and some lime, and then just screw the top on. They keep forever.
Yeah, but like 30 fucking dozen of eggs.
Yeah. You never know when you're gonna have a party and need deviled eggs or pickled eggs.
Doll says we ran out of toilet paper and were given wash rags. I was traumatized and made up my mind I was never going to run out of toilet paper again. Actually, during the pandemic, when everybody was in such a big fuss about toilet paper, I had actually just made the decision that fuck this. If I can't find toilet paper, I'll buy a bidet. Problem solved forever.
Friend ran out of toilet paper, and I gave him some sandpaper instead.
Hey, paper's paper, right?
Yeah, it was fun, Give him a roll of sandpaper. The good old recycled toilet paper.
Sir, you can't recycle toilet paper.
So where my dad worked, they actually, I guess someone pissed off the guy that's in charge of sourcing, so he actually bought literal Russian toilet paper. It was basically like recycled clothes out of the old Russian asylum or some crap like that. Anyways, this stuff was so bad it would literally rip your asshole apart. And but he threw it all away, and I was so mad because that was when I was in college. I wanted to get a couple of them so I could fill up my one roommate's bathroom full, but I never got the chance.
This actually happened recently. Our purchasing department realized that this brand of toilet paper was extremely cheap, like cost-effective cheap, and so they switched the entire plant to it without testing it first. You couldn't unroll it it was that cheap. It would rip, and I'm not talking about like rip at the perforated edges. No, I'm talking about like it would just fall apart. You couldn't get it off the roll without it falling apart.
You know, after the Russian toilet paper incident there, then they decided that they were going to limit everyone to 3 squares. So my dad ended up making himself a custom wooden case with a brass handle and glass panels on it that he wandered around with his toilet paper roll in it. That was his way of getting around it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, ours, you didn't have that problem because you couldn't pull off 3 squares. The bathrooms, both the men and the women for the next 2 weeks had toilet. You'd think somebody TP'd the whole fucking thing, and then they ran over it with a lawnmower because none of it was any big and none of it was together. And oh man, our cleaning company complained. Oh my God. Like they literally made up the charge to charge us extra to clean our bathrooms. So much so that they it encouraged them to destroy the rest of them.
Ended up saving them a lot of money, didn't it?
No. Once again, and as engineers, all the engineers said, well, see, this is why we test everything. Some things only look good on paper. I mean, that seemed like a really good deal because the rolls were nice and large, and the rolls seemed like they were the same size as all the rest of them, and they were like a half the price. But the problem is if you can't pull them off the roll without the square tearing into quarters, yeah, how are you going to what are you using to wipe your butt with?
Probably you just have to like hold the roll and just use it and has it, you know, kind of ablates on your butthole.
Literally what you'd have to do is reach into the dispenser and spin the roll. You couldn't pull on the toilet paper. You had to spin the roll. I had toilet paper to share. See where we all, okay, so next pandemic, when they take all the toilet paper, everybody needs to go to Doll's house because she has toilet paper to spare.
Well, don't worry, my dad freaked out. He's got 500 rolls stored in the basement. He's good.
See, once again, this is the joys of living out in the country. This is what happens. We might not have everything, but between all of us, we've got everything.
I'll be right back, guys. I gotta take the dog out.
All right. See, one of these days, y'all aren't going to realize it, and she's going to have like a little Italian accent. She's going to be like, I'm going to take the dog out back.
After the butter incident today, and the fact that he got outside today, yeah.
Like I said, one of these days, it's going to be like, we're going out back.
No old Yeller moments.
That blizzard scared me for life. Yeah, Old Yeller, we don't have a barn, but we're going to the woodshed.
I'll be back.
Okay. It's after 8 o'clock. I've actually overstayed my time. Thank you guys for playing with me. Giggity.
Have a good evening.
You too. Well, I will tell you this though, that warm shower yesterday felt fucking amazing. Just little things in life. Anywho, thank you guys for having me as always, and I look forward to playing with you guys tomorrow.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Have a good evening.
All right. Glad I could catch your shirt. Doll, I am so glad you could make it. I am so glad you could make it. You know I always love talking to you. And as always, thank you guys for allowing me to entertain you. Thank you for gracing me with your time. As usual, if you're watching on Twitch, do me a favor, hit the follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, give me a subscription and give me a thumbs up. All right. You have a wonderful evening too. As always, be careful, be safe. Peace.